Hey guys, this is Cam for 15 and I'm back at it with another review for you guys, and this is another ReZero Season 2 Episode 10 review. I believe we have 3 more episodes and then ReZero sadly goes on break till next year in the winter time because of obviously the pandemic and stuff like that, but man, we get another good episode here, as well as it seems like we're setting up this arc where I guess this is the arc where I'm guessing they're going to take care of the Great Rabbit, which now I see there's now potential reason or way how to beat this Great Rabbit because we were brought about it. We get that information here, which I was thinking, oh, so we can do this, and stuff like that. We also get that really one cool ending moment with Garfield essentially kind of, owning Subaru, no, not Garfield. Subaru owning Garfield in that last, scene discussion of the episode. I don't really much know what it says, but essentially what I got out of it is saying that, oh, Subaru's just telling Garfield, like, look, I've seen worse things. I've seen hell. I've seen things go to shit, essentially, like and stuff like that. So I thought that was an interesting conversation. An interesting conversation. I'm not going to talk most about it because I kind of didn't understand the gist of it, but I do kind of understand the gist of it at the same time. Where Subaru was kind of just saying like, "Hey, look, I just let me go. Look, I'm on a mission here to do something. Listen, I've seen some stuff. I don't know what you're hiding, but one day I will find out what you're hiding and stuff like that." So yeah. Um as well as it seems like Beatrice's contract with, I'm guessing, Roswell is ending and she might start a new one with Subaru. Let's talk about it anyway. So, anyways, this episode obviously is picking up where we last off last week, and that was Satella just magically appears. Yeah, now Subaru's gonna try to take her on all by himself, but that's when Garfield's like, "Yo, listen, everybody was swallowed by Satella, everybody and stuff like that." So yeah, next thing you know, we see like these other Ryuzus that show up, and I'm like over here like, what the hell is going on? So there's multiple Ryuzus, or yeah, Ryuzu, um which led me to believe I'm like these things got to be clones. Even Subaru's like mentioned like, are these things clones or something? And Garfield kind of somewhat says that he's like, they're just like empty vessels essentially. So yeah, now Garfield he tries to attack Satella by going to his beast form. He gets tied up first. Then he makes the Ryuzus charge in at Satella. They kind of blow up, but when Garfield gets free, he tries to attack Satella again. But yeah, with the darkness little things, it essentially goes through like Garfield's body and sticks out like different points of his body like spikes, and essentially he just, I guess you can say, blows up and dies. Like Satella one hit KO'd Garfield. So yeah, man, this is crazy. She goes on to tell Subaru again that the thing from last week, and again, if you are freaking not listening to this scene with the headphones when she's saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you," or "Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me," um, Jesus, that I swear, I don't care. Just listen to that with headphones gets a chill down my spine, and it's just creepy, man. It's just creepy. It's like I said last week. It sounds like it's a horror movie, and it sounds like Satella's like right there in your ear saying all this stuff and things like that. Man, I'm getting a bunch of freaking Jesus. I'm getting way too many freaking emails. Um. Anyways, going back to what I was talking about. Subaru goes on to mention saying he even's like telling Satella like, "Yo, stop saying that." As she continues to say, "Love me, love me, love me," um, and he's like, "Listen, my first, I already have somebody who I love first, and then someone in my heart that is second to my feelings and stuff like that." Which she's talking about Emilia and Rem. But this one when Subaru makes the indirect comment by saying, "Hell, hell, honestly, I'd rather love a kidna more than you." Then you see Satella actually get a reaction. She's like, and then she literally surrounds him in darkness. And then all of a sudden, you just see all these, memory type of things going on as Subaru sees this. And then, anyways, so I'm guessing his handkerchief, from what it looked like, turned into like a sharp, like dagger type of thing. He stabs himself, so he ends up starting to kill himself. Then, right before he dies, he pulls down the hood of Satella, and you can see, which is the thumbnail of the video today, you see Satella's face. And to say that, man, how in season 1 they always mention how Emilia looked like Satella, dude, she looks legit word like face by face accurate like Emilia. Like if Emilia went bad, essentially. Now there could be many things going on here. This could be Satella and have nothing to do with Emilia, the fact. But a lot of people might also say this might be Satella, maybe taking over the body of Emilia and stuff like that. And the crazy thing we saw here at the end before Subaru kicked the bucket and returned by death is we saw Satella start crying tears. I don't know what that means. Maybe that could be a hint, like maybe the sanity in Emilia, if she is like, if the body of Emilia is being possessed by Satella's, I guess soul or something like that. I guess you could say that's like the I guess the soul of Emilia reawakening and realizing this is Subaru and stuff like that. That's very interesting. And man, as long as the series goes on, man, there's always gonna be the lingering question, especially now after this episode: is Emilia really Satella being possessed, or is like Emilia have like? It's either that, either Emilia is Satella and she just doesn't know it, or Emilia gets possessed by Satella and and stuff like that. And that's why people call her Satella and stuff like that, because a lot of people were saying like under the hood she looks somewhat similar to Emilia, just because the little the necklet thing or something like that. And you can see by the face like it looks like Emilia. Now the difference you can see is, well, it's obviously harder to see because one, it's darker, but two, if you look in the right corner of the screen of it, you can see the flower, because we know Emilia has a flower. The flower, it looks like it's fully bloomed and it's like out and stuff like that. While the flower kind of looks more like a rose, which is closed in when Emilia has it. Very interesting point. Very interesting point. Now Subaru reawakens after returning by death, and the moment he looks at Emilia, he starts freaking shaking and shivering. Obviously, he saw what was to him Emilia and stuff like that. And like I said, to me, it's thinking, he knows that she might be Satella, or she might be possessed by Satella, and he's like obviously afraid to even touch her. She eventually reawakens, and then he starts bawling his eyes out like, Subaru, we all know. Obviously, I think it's because everything that just recently happened and stuff like that. And this is the one thing about Emilia that I do like. Like, I do like Emilia. I love Rem. I do love Rem, and I'm on Team Rem. But I do love Emilia as well. Emilia, I think, is still a really good character. This is when, even later in the scene, that's when we see the nice caring side of Emilia, where she comforts Subaru and stuff like that. And they later walk out of the sanctuary, and I just found it funny how this scene was just. It's funny how Emilia just brings up the fact that Subaru was crying again in her arms, essentially, and Ram, like Ram always does, makes fun of this by saying like, it's funny and stuff like that. You're acting like this. Subaru also mentions like he doesn't want to act like that type of person, like very emotional, and to him to him he feels like he's in a weak position when he looks like that to Emilia, but Emilia's like, I don't see what any problem with that is and stuff like that. So yeah, but it was that was morely drawn out. That scene was morely drawn out for comedy, especially the fact that Ram is just roasting Subaru just for, you could say crying, but okay. Now, Garfield actually looks at Subaru, and it looks like tensions are gonna get high here. But then he's like, ah, it's whatever. At least you're okay. That's fine by me, and stuff like that. All right, so going on to the next scene, Subaru actually asks Ram to keep Garfield busy and kind of just stay with him or stay with her, so he can do his own thing. Now he goes to this temple, which he remembers from obviously all the flashbacks and stuff like that with the Satella incident. He has the crystal. He goes to this temple-like structure. He puts the little blue crystal in there, and next thing you know, this magic door opens up. He walks in, and he sees this giant crystal. And man, this gave me fairy tale vibes from Mavis being stuck in this crystal. But here, you see Rizuyu in this crystal, just stuck there and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Next thing you know, you see these other two Ryuzus show up. There's one in a white cloak, or yeah, a white cloak, and then the one in a black cloak with the staff and stuff like that. Now we later find out that it's true that the Ryuzus were the sanctuary eyes. So I honestly, I think I made a mention last week or a few weeks ago that the Ryuzus were the sanctuary eyes. But yeah, here it is more confirmed. And it's even better more confirmed here because of what is revealed here. Anyways, we find out that Echidna, when she was still alive, was actually experimenting on Ryuzu. Now, Ryuzu's true body is in the crystal, and her full name is not Ryuzu Blima, it's Ryuzu Meyer. And essentially, what Echidna tried to do, which I got the gist of it, essentially what Echidna was trying to do is, like Subaru, who can always return by death and stuff like that, she wanted a way to become immortal. And essentially, what she was doing is she was creating clones from the base Ryuzu Meyer body and making clone after clone after clone after clone, and tried to put her soul in the Ryuzu, so she could be able, every time she was in Ryuzu and died, her soul would go to another clone and stuff like that. In other words, she would be essentially immortal. You couldn't kill her because the clones just keep remaking, which is a pretty interesting that on Echidna's part, and stuff like that. So yeah, so we do find out that the one in the black robe is actually one of the first four clones ever made by Echidna, which was over 400 years ago from what she said. And, the thing is, she kind of morally handles the other copies around and kind of controls them. Like, she even mentions, like, how each copy has a different personality and stuff like that. Like, she has wisdom, and I forgot the other, type of trait she had as well, and things like that. I did find it really cute that the other Ryuzu, the one in the white cloak, was just holding on to Subaru like a child or something. I thought that was pretty cute and stuff like that. Even Superman, he's like, "Huh, you're pretty attached, aren't you?" and stuff like that. So yeah. Now we get even more revelations here is the fact that we find out that the Ryuzus now can listen to Subaru on any commands he tells them, and the reason why is because if you have drinking the Witch of Greed, Echidna's, had something of her bodily fluid or any part of her bodily influence on you, essentially the Ryuzus will listen to you no matter what, and they just are like, I guess you can say, obedient robots or something like that. So yeah, and that's when Subaru also questioned. He's like, "Huh, interesting," because he remembers back before the past that he saw Garfield controlling them, and anyways, going back, the reason why Subaru was able to have these people listen to him, he already drank the witch's tea, which he drank Echidna's tea, which he untake her bodily fluids, which actually seems to come in to help even more than anything. So him drinking the tea was probably the best thing for him. Anyways, like I said, going back, Subaru asked Rizuyu about Garfield and if he took the trial, and Ryuzu just kind of gives a nod in saying that Garfield took the trial. So Garfield took the trial, which means he met Echidna in during the time he was taking the trial, and took one of her bodily, I guess, parts or something like that, and that's why the Ryuzus listened to him. So yeah. Now he tells him like, look, do not tell Garfield this, that I'm an apostle of greed, which is the meaning of the Ryuzus acknowledging, I guess their master essentially. Oh, you're an apostle of greed and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, Subaru is walking back to the sanctuary area, and essentially we have a nice little dialogue scene between him and Emilia, um, and stuff like that. For some reason, it was nice. It was a nice little scene. But what I mean by for the some reason, Subaru calls Emilia a fairy. Even though that's a compliment, but I guess in this world fairies are bad. Because that's what Emilia says. She's like, yeah, thanks for calling me a fairy. Those things are bad. But essentially, Subaru, after learning from his past mistakes, when he would always tell, Subaru in his past lives, that he would take the trial. Now, here he says, I'm always going to be by your side because I believe in you and stuff like that. And essentially, he just gives Amelia courage to continue to take the trial, which, again, like I said, it's another nice, scene between Subaru and Amelia, which goes to show their bond is really pretty strong, to be honest. Like, for them to be, friends and somewhat people that really care about it, well, people that really do care about each other, and is always there for each other when they either or needs one of them. It's really nice to see. Still, they did say we're gonna get a lot of Subaru Amelia moments here, and it's the nice moments here. It's the nice moments here. Anyways, going on, Subaru actually plans to, well, even before that, he has a nice little talk with Otto, while they're sleeping. This time, Subaru's gonna leave for the mansion, and this time, unlike the last time where he didn't leave a note, this time he left a note for Amelia saying, "Hey, I'm headed back to the mansion. I'll be back as fast as I can," and stuff like that. So this time so clearly here he's learning from his mistakes, because as we all know from last time, from that one episode, I forgot what episode it was. When he left to go to the mansion, he didn't even leave a letter at all. He just straight up dipped, and stuff like that. This time he left a letter letting Amelia know. Now he left it on the door. If it was me, I probably would have left it near her bedside, but I understand he probably didn't want to bother her and stuff like that. So yeah, he goes back to the mansion. He actually runs into Garfield, which Garfield questions like, where do you think you're going, essentially? And that's when we have the discussion between him and Subaru. And Subaru's obviously being, now Subaru brings a point. It's like, so you searched the witch's greed. I don't know why you didn't bring it up earlier. Or, well, the witch's scent. I don't know why you didn't bring it up earlier. Oh crap! I totally forgot. Okay, I totally forgot. Quick second, Ryuzu talk. Okay, one, Ryuzu actually, the one in the black cloak, actually says, because Subaru asks like, why is your last name Blima while the other one, the real one's called Meyer, and essentially the reason why they changed their name is so they can have, like, I guess you can say, diversity amongst the other clones and be unique. That's what she kind of said. Another thing also is, I forgot to say this. Ryuzu goes on to say that all the copies of Ryuzu's are essentially just made up of mana. And we knew from last week the Great Rabbit is attracted to lots of mana, which could have been the reason why the Great Rabbit was already there in the sanctuary, because of all the Ryuzus. So I'm guessing, I have a feeling, maybe a way to draw out the Great Rabbit, because, one of the ways to draw the Great Rabbit is have a great, degree of mana. I feel like Subaru might use, like, a bunch of Ryuzu clones to bring out the Great Rabbit, and then they'll have to find a way to defeat it, which is going to be very interesting. So that was my thing. But anyways, I totally forgot that part, so sorry, that's my bad. Anyways, to ending this video off, they have a nice Garfield and Subaru having a conversation, and I hear Subaru's just obviously now much more smarter with everything that has happened. he's able to step his game up and kind of own freaking Garfield in the word worlds. It's like I said, at the start of the video, Subaru's like, look, I've seen hell before. I've seen all sorts of hells. The question is this, you're gonna have to let me go regardless. And if you will, stuff like that. Like I said, I might just be misunderstanding the context of that. If you know really what Subaru was telling Garfield there, it'd be much appreciated if you put that in the comment section. But at the same time, I understand the gist of it. I understand the gist of it. Subaru's just kind of telling him, look, I've seen enough hell as is. Listen, if you think you're getting in my way, that's fine by me, and stuff like that. Also, he does know that Garfield is hiding something from him, which we don't know. He even brings up something saying, I know your secret, and he says it, but they don't say it in the subs. So that's another interesting point. He heads back to the mansion, and essentially, here from what I'm getting is, Subaru is going to leave with Beatrice, Rem, Petra, and Frederica. Obviously, they know because a certain Elsa is going to be arriving probably anytime soon because she's literally on spot the moment he gets there. So yeah. Anyways, the episode ends off with Subaru going to Beatrice's room, and Beatrice makes a comment saying, it seems like my long contract is finally coming to an end. But the fact, and she ends the statement off by saying, but the fact that you're here, starting anew might, be ironic to this end. Now, what I'm getting here is, I'm guessing her old contract with Roswell is ending, and she's gonna make a new contract with Subaru, and Subaru will finally, I guess, be able to say, hey, you won't be sealed here no more. You will be able to go out into the world and be free. Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. We're gonna have to find out next week. Will Elsa also show up next week as well? Because we know that too. Yeah, it seems like Subaru's gonna get a new contract, or Beatrice is gonna have a new contract this time, starting with Subaru. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. So yeah. Anyways, it was a good ReZero episode. It was a good ReZero episode, and I can't wait. Like I said, it sucks that we're only having legit 3 more episodes away, I believe, from the first half of season 2 ending, and then we legit have to wait. Let me look at my calendar. Actually, let me look at my calendar. So next Tuesday the 16th. Yeah, it seems like ReZero, the first half, will be ending either, the end of September, which is September 30th, or the second week of October, which is October 7th. It's either going to end, the first half of the season is going to end sometime between then and Jesus. Still, that means we're gonna have to wait 3 months. We're gonna have to wait 3 months till we get freaking ReZero season 2 part 2, the back half of the season. Which, man, all I can say is hopefully 2021 is much better than 2020. But yeah. But still, like I said, 2021 in January, that's about to be the month of anime as well, because there's a bunch of anime that are coming out around that time in 2021. So, man, like I said, this past summer, it was, there was a lot of content for me in terms of anime stuff to watch, but, there's going to be a lot of stuff to watch. Like, think about it, man. Dr. Stone is coming out in January 2021. We're going to have ReZero, Dr. Stone, Jesus. There's many more anime that are coming out around that time as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, what happens next in next week's episode. So yeah. So anyways, this was a good episode. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your day. If you liked the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode. What are your thoughts on the Satella thing? Do you think it's Emilia whose body is being possessed from the soul of Satella, or do you think that really is, Emilia as Satella, and we just don't know. We're just going to find out as Jesus, not as the weeks, maybe as the seasons progress, because that's still an ongoing thing. Which again, like I said, I hope when we get I hope like after season two's over, we just get an initial confirmation, like right out, like maybe a week later, that season three is going to happen. Because I'm sorry, I don't understand how they can go another 5 years for a season three. Because they're seeing how many people love this show, man, they gotta bring out a season three like directly on the spot. Like, I'm sorry, we gotta get a season three confirmed. Otherwise, I will go straight to the light novels and start reading them bad boys. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. It's been Cam for 15. Hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your day. And yeah, so till then guys, I'm gonna get out of here and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.